EU companies to take proactive measures to prevent harm, such as implementing risk management systems, conducting audits, and providing remedies for victims. It will provide common standards, and as we know, some of our member states already have due diligence provisions, and that will ensure that there isn't regulatory fragmentation and that you, as suppliers and buyers and actors in the EU market, will have certainty on this front across the EU market. Negotiations on the law are reaching the finishing line. It's not been without its turbulence, and EU institutions are working to find a consensus on the law, particularly with regard to civil liability of companies. It should be formally adopted before or immediately after the European elections in June, paving the way for a new era of corporate due diligence. I wanted to finish by saying a few words on something I'm absolutely not an expert on, but I'm interested in, and I think there are many more people qualified to speak about this in the room, but it's ethical consumption and knowing the consumer in Europe. And it's a very interesting picture. I was looking at recent academic studies on ethical consumption and consumer patterns in the European market. And I think one of the things to bear in mind, as I've mentioned, as we all know, is the economic outlook. And in a recent survey, it showed that 21% of EU citizens are deemed to be at risk of poverty and social exclusion, 21%. So that is something to factor in when you look at the EU market, and hopefully that picture will improve. But in this context of hard-pressed economic times, what is the appetite for ethical consumption? Looking at a Eurobarometer survey, this is a regular survey that's done of EU citizens on different issues, it found that a large majority of people in all EU countries say that protecting the environment is important to them personally, and the most effective way to address environmental problems is to change the way we consume.